Hello friends, I'm Kapil Mittal from Competition Times IAS, and today we are going to start a new series of UPSC Civil Services Prelims exam. So here we are going to start the previous year papers, and we are discussing all the previous year papers starting from 1995 to latest up to 2019. So we will do this by module wise, starting from history portion, and in that we are taking on the at first the ancient history, and which will be having around 112 questions, and so we will divide it into two parts, and today we are discussing in this module the part 1 of the 2. Fine, so let's start, and the explanations are available in this lecture, and the PDF will be available in the description of the YouTube video. Fine, so we will start now. The question 1 which was asked in 1995 was the word Hindu as a reference to the people of Hind, which was India, was first used by. So who used the word Hindu at first? So it was used by the Arabs. The name of India is a corruption of the word Sindhu. Sindhu is the name of the Indus river mentioned in the Rig Veda, and in the Rig Veda it was mentioned there, and neighboring Arabs, Iranians, uttered S as H. So this is the corruption of the word S as H, and for Sindhu they used to pronounce as Hindu. So Greeks pronounce this name as Indus. Fine. So the answer will be the Arabs. Question 2: who among the following was the Brahmavadini who composed some hymns of the Vedas? So Lopamudra. So Lopamudra was the Brahmavadini who composed some of the hymns of the Vedas. And who are the other Brahmavadinis? So their names are Viswara, Sikta, Nivavari, and Ghosh and Maitreyi. So these were the other Brahmavadinis. Match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer using codes given below the list. So here the question: Vikram era, Sak era, Gupta era, and Kali era. So first we will match these, and then based on that matching we will answer. Fine. So Vikram era, which started from 58 BC, and it was Vikram era was started by Vikramaditya. Fine. And Sak era was started 78 AD, and it was started by Kanishk. Gupta era, so Gupta era was started in 320 AD, and it was started by Chandragupta I. And Kali era, so या फिर Kali era started in 3102 BC, and it was started at the beginning of the Kali Yuga. So here the year 3102 BC was calculated based on the calculation of all the lineage and descendants of the those Pandavas and other rulers, and how many years they have overall ruled. So based on that this figure was deciphered, and after this the fifth option, which was not of any importance, is 248 AD. So this was reference to the Kalchuri era, and it was started at the time of Abhir king Ishwar Sen. Fine. So based on this matching, the answer D is correct. So this is very important and very frequently repeated question. Question 4 is what is Sanskrit plays written during the Gupta period women and Sudras speak? Sudra. So at the time of Guptas, so these Sanskrit plays, who spoke that? So at that time, Sanskrit was the language of which was spoken by the elite class of that time, and Prakrit was spoken by the common people. So the correct answer is, because women and Sudras are the common people, and so the correct one is Prakrit. Question 5. The name by which Ashoka is generally referred to in his inscriptions is Priyadarshi. So this Priyadarshi or Piyadarshi. In year 1915, near a village called Maski. Maski is in Raichur district of Karnataka, and there is a rock inscription was discovered on a hill, and in this inscription for the first time the name of Ashok was found with titles like Devanam Priya or Priyadarshi. So it was then certain that Devanam Priyadarshi was no other than Ashok, and it is used for Ashok. Fine. So question number 6. The term Yavana Priya mentioned in the ancient Sanskrit text denoted. So out of these 4, a fine variety of Indian Muslim ivory damsels sent to the Greek court for dance performance, and pepper. So the answer is pepper. The Yavanas were Indo-Greeks and Yavans. In Hindi we call it Yavans, and they liked pepper, black pepper. That is why pepper is known as Yavan Priya. Fine. So the answer is pepper. The concept of Anuvrat was advocated by, and so the obvious answer is Jainism. In Jainism, the Anuvrat was the 5 main teachings of the Jainism: Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigraha, Satya, and Brahmacharya. So the correct answer is Jainism. Anuvrat, very frequently asked question from Jainism in any exam. Question 8 is, according to Mimamsa system of philosophy, liberation is possible by means of. So out of 4, Gyan, Bhakti, Yoga, and Karma, the answer is Karma. The Karma, here the Mimamsa system, what is this Mimamsa system of philosophy? Mimamsa means investigation or inquiry. The primary inquiry is into the nature of dharma based on close theology of the Vedas. It has 2 divisions, Purv Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa. Purv Mimamsa is the older one or ancient one. Fine. So let us move to next question. Bronze icons of Nataraj caste. The Nataraj Murti during the Chola period invariably shows the deity with. So how many hands were there in that Nataraja caste? So the obvious answer is 4, and this is the Nataraj caste, and 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the 4 hands, and 4-handed bronze icon of Nataraj is the finest example of Chola sculpture. So this answer can also this question can also be asked in future. So according to the ancient Indian cosmogonic ideas, the sequential order of the cycle of 4 icons or yogas. So there are 4 yugs, and what is the chronological order of all these 4? So that is answer C, the Krita, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. This Krita means Satyug. This is Satyug. Satyug. Somewhere we can mention it Sat or Satya. First Satyug, then Treta, then Dwapar, and then Kali, the present one. So this is in the descending order of numbers. And which one of the following temples figured in the news regarding the institution of the Devdasi? So Devdasi issue is famous for Jagannath temple of Puri in Odisha, and the obvious answer is A. And what is Devdasi referred to? Devdasi is a girl dedicated by her family members to worship and service of a deity or a temple for the rest of her life. So After that offering, she becomes Devdasi and works in the interest of that temple. They were considered the human wife of Lord Jagannath. Fine. So that is Devdasi, and this issue frequently occurs in the news. And that question 12, the river most mentioned in the early Vedic literature. So this was asked in 1996, and at that time the most mentioned river in Vedic literature is Sindhu. So Sapta Sindhu play a prominent part in the hymns of the Rig Veda and consequently in the early Vedic religion. Fine. So Sindhu or Sapta Sindhu, and this is the region where that Vedic culture developed. Which one of the following is not a part of early Jain literature? So out of these four, Therigata is the Buddhist literature, and this is Buddhist literature. So obvious answer is, so this is not a Jain. Fine. And other three are Jain literatures. Which of the following were the common to both Buddhism and Jainism? So avoidance of extremities of penance and enjoyment, indifference to the authority of the Vedas, denial of efficacy of rituals, non-injury to animal life. So out of these four, this one, avoidance of extremities of penance and enjoyment. So in Jainism, they do not follow this, but Buddhism they follow. Second one is, so this is incorrect, and indifference to the authority of Vedas. So these both of these are for this, so this is correct. And denial of efficacy of rituals, because in our Vedic culture, the Buddhism and Jainism was divided from here because of all these facts only, because they do not want that to be very typical, like following rituals and Vedas, or so this one is also correct. And non-injury to animal life, so ahimsa. So the answer is second, third and fourth. So this is B. Both denied the authority of Vedas and necessity to performing sacrifices and rituals. Both of them were opposed to animal sacrifices. So in the context of ancient Indian society, which one of the following terms does not belong to the category of the other three? So the Kul, Vans, Kos and Gotra. So these three are related one, and so this Kos is different, and Kos refers to the treasury. So this is different one. Who among the following is known for his work on the medicine during the Gupta period? So out of Somik, Shudrak and Shaunak and Susrut. So Susrut is the obvious answer, and Susrut Samhita is written by Susrut, and he was the one of the best surgeons of the Gupta period, surgeon of Gupta period. Which one of the following sculptures was invariably used green schist as the medium? So that is Bharhut sculptures. Bharhut sculptures, this Bharhut, where is this? It is located in the Satna district of Madhya Pradesh, which is situated in the central part of India, and there is a green schist is available there, and the Bharhut sculptures represent some of the earliest example of Indian and Buddhist art, and later than the monumental art of Asok. So that time was 260 BCE or BC, and slightly later than the early Shunga period reliefs on railings at Sanchi Stoop number 2. So this belongs to this time period. So this Bharhut or Bharhut, this belongs to the green schist. This green schist. So this stone is green in color. Green. So the next question asked in 1996 was to matching these four terms. The four in the list 1, 4 in the list 2. Vishakadatta, Varahamihir, Charak and Brahmagupta. So the Vishakadatta belongs to the drama category, and Vishakadatta wrote a political drama named Mudra Rakshas, and this is very frequently asked question from Vishakadatta, and he plays this play dealing with the time of the Maurya dynasty and 6th century CE. Fine. So this Vishakadatta relates to the drama, and the second one Varahamihir. So Varahamihir was a Hindu astronomer and polymath who lived in Ujjain. So it can relate to astronomy. And this third is Charak. Charak related to the medicine, and he was the editor of the medical treatise the Charak Samhita, and he was a native of the Kashmir at that time. And fourth one is Brahmagupta. Brahmagupta was an Indian mathematician and astronomer, and Brahmagupta is the person who discovered that zero, and who gave the rules to compute with zero. So the obvious answer is C, A second, B third, and C first, and D fourth. So answer is C. Question 19. Which one of the following text of ancient India allows divorce to a wife deserted by her husband? So at that time, that Arthashastra written by Kautil, and it was written by the Kautil, and in this book word moksha was used for this divorce. So the obvious answer is Arthashastra, written by Kautilya or Chanakya. The next question in 1997, also for matching list 1 with list 2, and same. Here the Gupta's this Devgarh. So in Devgarh there is Dashavtar temple. Dashavtar temple at Devgarh, Uttar Pradesh. Devgarh belongs to Uttar Pradesh, and it shows the ornate Gupta style architecture. So this architecture relates to Gupta time period, and that's why Gupta is related to Devgarh. And this the second one is Khajuraho, that relates to Chandela, and most Khajuraho temples are Hindu temples, Jain temples, and this in the Chhatarpur district of Madhya Pradesh was built between 950 AD and 1050 AD by Chandela dynasty. So that's why we will relate Khajuraho with Chandelas. And third one is Badami. Badami was also known for Vatapi, known as Vatapi in Bijapur district of Karnataka. So this Vatapi or Badami, it relates to Bijapur, Karnataka. It was regal capital of the Badami Chalukyas. So Chalukyas of Badami, and their capital was Badami from AD 550 to 540 to 757, and it is mentioned as it is declared as heritage city for Hriday. Hriday is acronym used for Heritage City Development and Augmentation Yojana scheme of Government of India. So we will relate Badami with the Chalukyas. So Chalukya, C will be related with 1, and Panamalai or Kanchi. This second one, Panamalai or Kanchi, this is in Tamil Nadu and was capital of Pallavas. And here the Kailasnath temple and Tal Griswa temple, these two temples are there, first one and second one. These are built in the 7th century, and these are 7th century sculptures. Fine. So this relates to Pallavas. Fine. So the by matching all these, the answer will be A. The question 21. Which one of the following statements regarding Ashok stone pillars is incorrect? So first one is these are highly polished. So this is correct. Second is they are monolithic. Very correct. The shaft of pillars is tapering in the shape. So tapering means broad in the base and narrow at the top. So these three are correct, and the fourth one is these are part of architectural structures. This is wrong because these Ashokan pillars are the pillars of Dharma, and meant for Dham Chakra Pravartan, and were meant to spread in his Dhamma, or Dham is Buddhism. Buddhism. Fine. So because it is for the purpose of Dharma Pravartan, that's why it is not the part of architectural structure. So this thing is incorrect. Fine. And some more facts. It was erected, means there are not a single pillar. There are many pillars erected all over the world by Ashok. Erected or at least inscribed with the edicts by the Mauryan Emperor Ashok during his reign from 268 to 232 BC. Fine. So these are very important facts related to, and few of the geographical spread of these Ashokan pillars is mentioned in this diagram. So you can look at that. Which one of the following script of ancient India was written from right to left? So in ancient India, that Kharoshti was used to be written from right to left. Usually we write from left to right for writing English, Hindi, Sanskrit, or any other languages. But this Kharoshti is written like Urdu or Farsi from right to left. In this direction. So this Kharoshti, and Kharoshti script was deciphered by James Prinsep. His time period is this, and using the bilingual coins of the Indo-Greek period. So he used Indo-Greek period coins which were bilingual, and from using the symbols on them, he deciphered that Kharoshti. This in turn led to the reading of the edicts of Ashoka, and because of him only, by deciphering this, the edicts of Ashoka could be readable. Some of which from the northwest of the Asian subcontinent were written in the Kharoshti script. Fine. So time period of this Kharoshti is 4th century BC to 3rd century CE. Fine. So around 700 years was 700 years. So the famous dialogue between Nachketa and Yam. Nachket and Yam. So this is mentioned in the Kathopanishad. So Kathopanishad is the conversation between Nachketa and Yamraj, and here the Nachketa is asking questions, and Yamraj is giving answers. So Nachketa is a seeker, and Yamraj was guru or knower of secrets. Fine. So Kathopanishad leads to the discussion between Nachketa and Yam. This dialogue between Nachketa and Yam. Next question is 24, asked in 1997, Milind Panno. So Milind Panno from Buddhism is in the form of dialogue between King Menander and Buddhist monk. So who was that Buddhist monk? He was Nagsen. So Milindpan, it is questions of Milind. Milindpan, it is questions of Milind. And it is a Buddhist text, and which dates from sometime between 100 BCE to 200 CE. It purports to record a dialogue between the Buddhist sage Nagsen and the Indo-Greek king Menander I. And in Pali we call him Milind. In Pali language of that time of Buddhist era, it is mentioned as Milind, and Menander I is from Bactria who reigned in 2nd century BCE, and this Bactria is the present day Iran. And which one of following edicts mentioned the personal name of Ashok? So that is Maski, Gurjar, Nattur, and Odegolam. These are locations of inscriptions mentioned the personal name of Ashoka. Fine. So Maski. The following map shows 4 of the 16 Mahajanpadas. There was Shodas Janpad, 16 Mahajanpad in the ancient India, and out of them 4 are mentioned as A, B, C and D. So which one is correct? So this is A, is this region relates to the Matsya, this one, and B relates to Avanti, C relates to Vats, and D for Anga. So the answer C is correct. And Matsya Mahajanpad comprise the present day Jaipur, Bharatpur, Alwar area of Rajasthan, and this one A. And this B, this region relates to Avanti, and which is the present day Ujjain district of Madhya Pradesh. And the third one, that C relates to Vats, and it is capital at Kaushambi, and its capital at Kaushambi was another powerful Mahajanpad annexed by Magad in the later. So that Anga Mahajanpad was in Gangetic Valley, and this denoted by D. So in the Mahayana Buddhism, the Bodhisattva Avalokiteswar was also known as, he is known as Avalokiteswar, Padma Pani. Avalokiteswar is a bodhisattva who embodies the compassion of all Buddhas. He is one of the more widely revered bodhisattvas in the mainstream Mahayana Buddhism. So he relates to Mahayana sect of Buddhism, Hinayan Mahayana. So out of that he relates to Mahayana. In Sanskrit, Avalokiteswar is also referred to as Padmapani, holder of the lotus. Padma means lotus, Padma means lotus, Pani holder in hand. Or Lokeswar, lord of the world. Lok means world, and Ishwar the lord. Lok means world and Ishwar means lord. So the silver coins issued by Guptas were called Rupaka. So from here only the Rupya or Rupee word is derived from this Rupak or Rupak from Gupta period. And these were silver coins. So Rupak was a silver coin of Gupta period, and the silver coin was called Rupak based on shakas of Ujjaini, and weighing 30 to 36 grains, and this was weight of these silver coins. And 16 Rupak were equal to 1 gold coin. So these were standardized silver coins. This is silver coin. In Delhi Sultanate, some more facts related to this. In Delhi Sultanate, gold coins were called tanka, and which were equivalent to the Greek dracham, standard of 67 grains, and the silver coins were called drama. So in Sultanate era. Question 29 again for matching. So in list 1 authors are given, and list 2 text. So Varahamihir, and Varahamihir, Vishakdatta, Sudrak, Bilhan. So here in list 2 are Prabandha Chintamani, Mritchakatika, Brihat Sanhita, Devi Chandraguptam, and Vikramank Devcharit. So the first one, Prabandha Chintamani. Prabandha Chintamani is an Indian Sanskrit language collection of Prabandhas. Prabandh means biographical narratives. It was compiled in 1304 CE in the Waghela kingdom of the present day Gujarat. This Waghela kingdom in Gujarat by Jain scholar Merutung. So this Prabandha Chintamani. So Merutung is not mentioned here in list 1. So this is the extra one. The second one is Mritchakatika. Mritchakatika or the English name translation, The Little Clay Cart, is a 10-act Sanskrit drama attributed to Sudrak. So Sudrak C relates to second, and Brihat Sanhita, this third one, Brihat Samhita was written by Varahamihir. It is an encyclopedic work in the architecture. This is very vast and diversified work. It relates to architecture, temples, planetary motions, eclipses, timekeeping, astrology, seasons, cloud formation, rainfall, agriculture, mathematics, and other various topics. So this Varahamihir is related to this Brihat Samhita, and the other works of Varahamihir are Panch Siddhantika. So this Panch Siddhantika is also written by the same Varahamihir. The next one is Devi Chandraguptam. So Devi Chandraguptam is an Indian Sanskrit language political drama, and this is attributed to the Vishak Dev or Vishak Dutt. Both are same. The same person's two names. Vishak Dutt also wrote Mudra Rakshas. Previously we discussed this Mudra Rakshas, Vishak Dutt. So these are very popular authors, and their works are asked frequently. Next one is Vikramank Dev Charit. So Kavi Bilhan, it is related to Bilhan. So Kavi Bilhan, poet, was an 11th century Kashmiri poet, again discussed earlier, known for his love poem Chaura Pankasika. So Western Chalukya Empire king Vikramaditya VI appointed him as a Vidyapati, and Bilhan rewarded him, his patron, or Vikramaditya VI, by composing in his honor an epic. So he wrote this Vikramank Dev Charitra for his king. Fine. So based on these matchings, the answer B is correct. Question 30. Which one of the following was a corporation of merchants in ancient India? So the correct answer is MoneyGram. A MoneyGramam was a large influential guild of South Indian merchants. It is Guild of South Indian Merchants during the period of Western Chalukyan rulers in 10th and 12th century CE, in between this time period. And fine. So we will move to next question, 31. The Badami rock inscriptions of Pulkesin I. So Pulkesin I king and Badami rock edicts we discussed earlier is dated in the Saka year 465. If the same were to be dated in Vikram Samvat, so what would be the year? So this is very easy, and we have to know when the Saka era started and when Vikram Samvat started. So for calculating this, we know that Shaka era started in 78 AD and Vikram era started in 58 BC. So Vikram era started before in timeline 58 BC, and this is Saka era 78 AD, and here 0. So first we have to calculate this time period, and because here Badami rock inscription is dated in the Saka year 465, and this is 78, this is Saka, and this is Vikram Samvat. Fine. So we have to add this 58 plus 78, these many years with plus 465. So the total we will get as 601. So here we have done this calculation, and this will give us 601 Vikram Samvat. So answer is this one. Fine. The next question is, many of the Greeks, Kushan and Sak, embraced Buddhism rather than Hinduism because. So first one is Buddhism was an ascendant at that time, although it was in ascendance, but this was not the reason for them. They had renounced the policy of war and violence. Not correct. And the third one is caste-ridden Hinduism did not attract them. This was the main reason. Caste-ridden Hinduism. because they do not want to get them tangled in that caste system. And the fourth one is Buddhism provided easier access to Indian society. Not correct. So the answer is C. They embraced Buddhism because caste-ridden Hinduism did not attract them. Fine. Question 33. The Ashok's major rock edicts which tell us about the Sangam kingdom include rock edicts. So the answer is the rock edicts 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. So these C. The 2nd and 13th rock edicts mention the southern kingdom of Chola, Pandya, Satyaputra, Keralaputra and Tambapani. So this belongs to the southern India of that time, Chera, Chola, Pandyas. The Sangam is this Sangam kingdoms. These Sangam kingdoms, this word came from Sangam. Sangam came from Sangam age of that time period, and period of history of ancient Tamil Nadu, Kerala and parts of Sri Lanka. At that time was known as Tamilakam, this Sri Lanka, and this is spawning from 6th century BCE to 3rd century CE. It was named after the famous Sangam academies of the poets and scholars centered in the city of Madurai. Fine. So Sangam relates to that time period, and Sangam is, and at the kingdoms of that area at that particular time are called Sangam kingdoms, and these are mentioned in the 2nd and 13th rock edicts of Ashoka. Question 34. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched? So the 4 are Mrichkatikam. So earlier we have discussed all these. Mrichkatikam written by Sudrak, and this Mudra Rakshas, Vishakadatta and Harshcharit, Banabhat. This one is new, and these 3 are correct. And the second one, Buddha Charit. So Buddha Charit was written by Asogos, and so this one is incorrect. Fine. So first, third, fourth, these 3 are correct. So answer is B. Question 35. What is the correct chronological order in which the following appeared in India? So the order of appearance is first the urban culture came, this, then iron plow, then punch mark silver coins, and then gold coins. So this is the correct order. Question 36. Assertion. This is related to assertion and reasoning, and the everywhere in the assertion reasoning the options are very common, and we can remember these options at once, and again and again these are repeated. So no need to read them again and again. So first we will look at these options and understand. First is both answer and reason, or assertion and reason are true. So first for this we will check individually both assertion and reasoning, the statements given in these are correct or not, and if anyone is incorrect, then we will make this incorrect. And now coming to second part, R or reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. So first we will check the correctness individually of these assertion and reasoning statements, and then we will check whether the statement given in reason is the correct explanation of the statement or situation given in the assertion. Fine. So based on that we can answer A, and in second one B, this is reason is not correct explanation. Third is A is true but R is false. Only assertion is correct, reason incorrect, and D is assertion is false and reason is correct. So very simple, and let's check the question. It is saying, according to Ashoka's edicts, social harmony among the people was more important than religious devotion. So this is correct one. Social harmony, he wanted social harmony, and because he converted into Buddhist, and he runs the fightings, and means he chose the path of ahimsa. So social harmony is more important at that time, and the reason is he spread ideas of equity instead of promotion of religion. So this is also the correct explanation. Ashoka's edicts put stress on the social harmony among the people by spreading ideas of equity instead of promotion of religion. So the Ashokan edicts mention these things. Question 37 asked in 1998, which of the following pairs are correctly matched? So the four pairs are Lothal, Ancient Dockyard, Sarnath, First Sermon of Buddha, Rajgir, Lion Capital. So out of these, the Lothal, Ancient Dockyard, this is correct one. Sarnath, here the Buddha gave his first sermon, so this is also correct. And this Rajgir, so Lion capital of Ashoka, so it is not situated in Rajgir, but this Ashoka capital or Lion capital of Ashoka is situated in Sarnath. So this one is incorrect. And Nalanda, the great seat of Buddhist learning, so this is also correct, and hence the first, second and fourth are correct. Answer C. So which one of the following ancient Indian records is the earliest royal order to preserve food grains to be utilized during the crisis in the country? So here the ancient Indian record, it was asked where the preservation of food grains it is mentioned. So it is Sohagor copper plate. The earliest known copper plate called Sohagor is a Maurya record that mentioned famine relief efforts. So it is one of the very few pre-Ashok Brahmi inscriptions in India, and this is written in Brahmi. Fine. So pre-Ashok Brahmi inscriptions. The concept of eightfold path forms the theme of. So eightfold path, it is mentioned in Buddhism, Dham Chakra Pravartan Sutta. Fine. So the answer is D, Dharma Chakra Pravartan, or in Pali it is called Dhamma Chakra Pavartan. The Noble Eightfold Path is one of the principal teachings of Buddha, and who described it as the way of leading to cessation of suffering, dukh, and attainment of self-awakening. So this Dhammachakra Pravartan marg, or this eightfold path provides the way for attaining nirvana. So what is this? The Buddhist symbol, the Noble Eightfold Path, is often represented by means of Dhamma wheel or Dhamma chakra. Chakra means wheel, and which rotates, and there are total 8 spokes in that circle or wheel. These 8 spokes represent the 8 elements of the path, and these 8 paths, if someone follows, he attains the nirvana. Nirvana means moksha. Eightfold path includes right understanding, so right speech, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right thought, right action, right effort, and right concentration. So these are the total 8 Dhammachakra Pravartan of the Buddhism. So question 40, the given map relates to the which of the ruler of that time. So this is very vast map of geographical area of the India, and who was that ruler. So it belongs to the Ashokas, and Ashoka towards close of his reign. So when at the time of end of Ashoka. So this given map is related to reign of Ashoka towards end of his life. Ashoka 300. This time period belongs from 304 to 232 BC, popularly known as Ashoka the Great, and was an Indian emperor of the Maurya dynasty who ruled over the Indian subcontinent from 269 BC to 232 BC. Fine. And his empire stretched from present day Pakistan, Afghanistan in the west, and to the present day Bangladesh and the Indian state of Assam in the east, and as far south as northern Kerala and Andhra. So this belongs to Asoka. And very frequent question from Asoka is also his time period. This is the time period of his reigning, means when he was ascended to throne, and this is his actual time period. So from the 3rd century AD, when the Hun invasion, ended the Roman Empire, the Indian merchants relied more and more on the Southeast Asian trade. Fine. After 3rd century AD, Roman Empire came to an end, and Indian merchants meanwhile had begun to rely more heavily on the Southeast Asian trade. So they looked towards the Southeast Asian countries. So the next question is, the following persons came to India at one time or another. So what is the correct chronological sequence of their visits? So the correct sequence, first we will see their time period. Fayan came during this time period, 405 to 411, and Itsing 671 to 695, and Megasthenes 302 to 298, and Huan Seng 630 to 645 CE. So CE and BC. So this BC and this CE. Fine. This is like BC and AD. We use present day Anno Domini before Christ, like this, or BCE. So first we will take BC. So this is Megasthenes. So this is third one, this and this, and then who came? It is Fayan in CE. So CE 405, then first one, and then fourth one, Huensang came in 630. So Huensang fourth one, and then Megasthenes, Itsing in 671. Fine. So likewise we will arrange them by knowing their time period. Next is question 43. Which one of the following was initially the most powerful city-state of India in 6th century BC? So in 6th century BC, out of those Sodas Janpadas or 16 Mahajanpadas, more powerful one are Magad, Kaushal, Vats and Avanti. And there was a fierce fight between these four, and they fought among themselves for their superiority, and in the at last the Magad emerged as victorious under Bimbisar. Bimbisar established the Haranyak dynasty. Haranyak dynasty in 6th century BC. So this Magad is the answer, and it is the very powerful kingdom of that time. And the Indo-Laws kingdom set up in the North Afghanistan in the beginning of the 2nd century BC was, so it is Bactria or Bakhtar. Bactria was it is not bacteria, it is Bactria. Bactria was ancient civilization of Iranian peoples. So it belongs to Iran, nowadays Iran. Ancient Bactria was located between Hindu Kush mountain range and Amu Darya, river, covering the flat region that straddles modern day Afghanistan and Tajikistan. Fine. So Bactria. The term Aryan denotes to. So very confusing question, and ethnic group, nomadic, speech or superior race. So this is Aryan is not a race, it is a linguist group, and it is considered as a linguistic term, and it belongs to Indo-European origin. So these French, German, Spanish, all these belongs to European, and Sanskrit, and these belong to Indo. So Indo-European origin linguist term. So this belongs to speech group, Aryan. Question 46. Which of the following ports handled the North Indian trade during the Gupta period? So the answer is Tamralipti. Tamralipti was the name of the ancient city on the Bay of Bengal corresponding with the Tamluk in modern day India. So this region was referred as Tamralipti. Fine. Tamralipti may have been one of the most important urban centers of trade and commerce of early historic India, trading along the Silk Road with China. By Uttarpath, the northern high road, the main trade route into the Middle East and Europe, and by seafaring routes to Bali, Java, and Far East. Fine. So the next question is 47. It is of assertion reasoning kind. The Aham and Puram poems of the Padinen Kilukannaku group formed a continuation of the Sangam composition, and the reason is given. They were included under the post Sangam works as against the Sangam work proper. So both are correct, and the reason is also the correct explanation of the assertion. So the answer is A. The didactic works of the Sangam period are called Kilikankaku, the 18 minor groups consisting of the Tirukkural and Naladiyar. The Aham and Puram poems of the Kilukanakku group were composed in the post-Sangam period. That's why this region explains correctly the assertion. Fine. Next question also of assertion reasoning type asked in 2000. The emphasis of Jainism on the non-violence ahimsa prevented agriculturists from embracing Jainism. And the cultivation involved killing of sects and pests. So in agriculture they used to at that time the bulls. So because they are used to ahimsa and practicing ahimsa non-violence, so they runs that agriculture as a profession. So next question 49, again of assertion reasoning. The origin of feudal system in ancient India can be traced to military campaigns, and there was considerable expansion of the feudal system during the Gupta period. So here assertion and reasoning, both statements are correct, but reason does not explain assertion correctly. Next question is 50. Ashoka annexed Kalinga to the Mauryan Empire, and Kalinga controlled the land and sea routes to the South India. Very true, both are correct. And by annexing Kalinga, although after the victory, the Ashoka changed his heart and moved to that Buddhism sect, and but being a king, he controlled that Kalinga and introduced or annexed it into his area or empire. So Ashoka annexed Kalinga to the Mauryan Empire in 261 BC, and though Ashoka abandoned the policy of physical occupation in favor of policy of cultural conquest after the Kalinga war, yet he retained Kalinga after its conquest and incorporated it into his empire. And due to this, his geographical area of the or ruled area became very vast, and he controlled the key trade routes also. So here this 50 question series end, and this today's presentation ends, and keep on watching, and we will put on the next series or next video tomorrow. Fine. So stick to that, and if you have not subscribed, then please subscribe this channel so that you will get proper notifications in your inbox related to our next videos. And we are going to start test series and current affairs sessions. Fine. So you can subscribe to our channel and keep on watching our videos. thanks, and do like this video, and the this presentation PPT is provided, and we will provide the PDF of this presentation in the description. You can download from there. Fine. So thanks for watching.